Updated, new COVID restrictions in Hawaii for visitors and residents. Hawaii Governor Ige said new limitations for residents and visitors are implemented immediately. Hawaii Governor David Ige announced new measures to slow the spread of the COVID-19 Delta variant in the state. Capacity in restaurants, gyms, indoor settings is set at 50%. Patrons in establishments like restaurants must be 6 feet apart. With the COVID increases out of control in Hawaii, the need to keep the booming travel and tourism industry alive may have delayed restrictions put in place today by Governor David Ige. Many visitors and citizens may be too much at ease in taking restrictions seriously. It includes quarantine violators, fake CDC vaccination records, and illegal gatherings. The governor said such violations are prosecuted aggressively, but there are not enough human resources in the police department to chase all violators. As of today, restaurants, bars, gyms in the state of Hawaii have to deal with restrictions once again. Such establishments are allowed to stay open, but the limit capacity to 50%. Maximum indoor capacity at stores and other venues is 10, outside is 25. With most restaurants in tourist areas like Waikiki constantly running capacity without such restrictions, this will be a challenge also for Hawaii's booming travel and tourism industry. Restrictions are soft compared to complete lockdowns that were put in place a year ago with infections numbers by far lower than now. The governor avoided a response if limitations will be put on hotel capacity and did not respond to eTurboNews at today's press conference on this issue. The governor said there won't be any changes or more restrictions for travelers wanting to visit the Aloha State. The Safe Travels program will remain as is with vaccinated visitors able to arrive without additional tests. The governor admitted there was a shortage in testing. Weddings, funerals, church, concerts, and sports events with 50 and more people need to be approved by county authorities first. In today's press conference, mayors from all Hawaiian islands are supporting the decision by Governor Ige. The mayor in Maui was concerned about hospitals and ICUs operating over capacity. He says when people are seeking emergency services in hospitals and they cannot deliver, this is a red line, and we had to take action. The exact wording of the emergency order by Hawaii Governor Ige. Executive Order No. 2105, statewide limits for social gatherings, restaurants, bars, and social establishments, whereas, on March 4, 2020, I issued a proclamation declaring a state of emergency to support ongoing state and county responses to the coronavirus disease, COVID-19, whereas, I subsequently issued several proclamations related to the COVID-19 pandemic, including proclamations that inter alia suspended certain laws to enable state and county responses to COVID-19, and implemented a mandatory self-quarantine for all persons entering the state and traveling between counties, mandated safe practices to reduce the spread of COVID-19, and instituted a vaccination and testing policy for all state and county employees, whereas, Delta, a highly contagious SARS-CoV-2 virus strain, has resulted in spiking case numbers around the world and in the United States of America, and continues to spread at an alarming rate in our state, whereas, the Delta variant of the SARS-CoV-2 virus has changed the course of the pandemic in our state urgently, such that the COVID-19 continues to endanger the health, safety, and welfare of the people of Hawaii and requires the immediate and serious attention, effort, and sacrifice of all people in the state to avert unmanageable strains on our healthcare system and other catastrophic impacts to the state, whereas, despite the success of the state's mitigation and vaccination efforts, based on recent events surrounding the sudden rise of COVID-19 cases as a result of the Delta variant, hospitalizations, and deaths, and the strong recommendation from our Department of Health and other experts assisting in the ongoing COVID-19 response, 2 of 3 the implementation of statewide limits for social gatherings, as well as additional provisions for restaurants, bars, and social establishments is necessary. Now, therefore, I, David Y. Ige, Governor of Hawaii, pursuant to my executive authority under Article 5 of the Constitution of the State of Hawaii, Chapter 127A, Hawaii Revised Statutes, and all other applicable authority, do hereby order, effective August 10, 2021, the following. For statewide implementation and as defined by each county, and in accordance with definitions specified by each county, a. Social gatherings. Indoor social gatherings of more than 10 persons and outdoor social gatherings of more than 25 persons are prohibited. B. Restaurants, bars, and social establishments. restaurants, bars, and social establishments will implement the following guidelines while maintaining the required social gathering sizes set forth above and as may be further specified by the counties. Patrons must remain seated with their party. 6 feet distancing must be maintained between groups. No mingling. Masks must be worn at all times except when actively eating or drinking. Professional events. Professional events must comply with all state and county orders, rules, and directives regarding operation. Those organizing professional events larger than 50 persons, in order to ensure appropriate safe practices, shall notify and consult with the appropriate county agency reasonably prior to the event. 3 of 3D. Restrictions on indoor capacity. For all high-risk activities, indoor capacity is set at 50%. This includes bars, restaurants, gyms, and social establishments. Statewide limitations set forth herein will not otherwise affect the county's COVID-19 policies regarding other categories of activity. All measures set forth herein will be enforced by the counties pursuant to county orders, rules, and directives that identify offenses and penalties for each county. This order supersedes less restrictive orders, rules, or directives of any of the counties to the limited extent necessary to carry out the limitations and restrictions contained herein. Notwithstanding the provisions set forth herein, the mayor of any county may issue orders, rules, or directives that are more restrictive. Unless superseded by a subsequent order, this emergency order shall terminate on October 18, 2021. Done at the state capital, Honolulu, State of Hawaii, this 10th day of August, 2021.